Hi, my name is Penelope, and I'm a 7th grader at DGS.
I'm Finley Black. I'm an 8th grader at DGS.
I'm Marmar Canales, and I'm an 8th grader at DGS.
I'm Orion Evie, and I'm an 8th grader at DGS.
I'm Tyler Coburn. I'm a 7th grader at DGS. And this week's episode is about rigor. I will be talking about Miss Catherine because she helps me jot down words, break it down, and she helps me by helping me read the questions, and then I'll be able to solve them so I can get ahead in upper grades.
So I believe Mr. Balch helps me a lot with critical thinking because he pushes me to elaborate on my answers rather than just saying 1 + 1 is 2. He wants me to elaborate on why that is the answer.
I'm going to be talking about Mr. Messerly because in his classrooms we usually have notebooks that seem to have many resources in them to go to certain places if we need help with certain parts of the work, and if we're doing a lab, there's always in detail things that we need to do in the lab, and making sure that we have the best kind of evidence or yeah.
I'd like to focus back on Mr. Balch because he's that kind of math teacher that doesn't, back to what Orion said, he advises his students to elaborate on their answer by teaching his students to elaborate more on their answer and just become better academic writers, even in math.
Mr. Beery pushes us to critically think about not just our social studies concept, but about the life that we're living. He's pushed us to think about whether it was really the best thing that we ever started farming, and if it would be better if we were still hunters and gatherers. He's pushed us to think about whether America's criminal justice system should stay the way it is, or if we should move towards rehabilitation instead of retribution. And he just lets us think about these really big questions that have a lot of different sides that are really nuanced and are really controversial, and lets us do that as 7th graders, and we don't have to be like adults who understand everything. We're just kids, and we get to think about big questions.
For a Schoology classroom, which I know we typically don't use a lot for ILT, but there are 2 documents in there, okay? One looks like this, which is an assignment that you have in social studies class. So I made one that has the picture of the document that goes right with the text box that you're supposed to fill out. So that is like a resource I'm handing to you, so you don't have to click between tabs in social studies. You're answering this big question, okay? And we talked about this last week. We started putting information on our board, okay, about how the Nile River shaped ancient Egypt, okay? So first, I want us to go through this together and see.
Good.
Sam?
Good.
Good. Tell me more. So what is a good paragraph gonna look like?
Has periods and capital words.
Okay. Caps. Punctuation. Good. Periods. Yeah.
All right, since I'm at home for a planning day, I thought it would make sense to answer this question, to go over how I use planning to help students to think more critically about the content. So what I have open right now is our weekly notebook where students do most of their science work throughout the week, and just walking through what a day looked like. Usually I start with the bottom, actually, what is my end goal? And so here students are learning about Newton's first law, and so in order to show that they truly understand it and aren't just regurgitating it back to me, they need to apply it to a scenario. So here, using claim, evidence, and reasoning, they need to explain how Newton's law explains the need for seatbelts. And so in the class, we would set up, and first thing is that we went through some vocab from the previous day's activities, making sure we're on the right page with using the right science words. Then we start with a pretty simple lab that 1 gets them up and moving, and 2 allows them to kind of visualize Newton's first law without fully getting into what it is yet. And then next they've got a choice board where they've got some options of some different things to do to start collecting evidence about what Newton's first law is, but more importantly, how it might apply to the needs for seatbelts. And then so by the end, the goal would be that every student has gotten through the kind of lower level questioning and work that they need in different learning formats to help the way that they learn, to have evidence to be able to think critically and apply what we're learning in the class to this more complex situation. So yeah, something that just giving them Newton's first law, they might not be able to fully answer this question to this level, but once we get through everything, we've worked through each part, they've worked with the people at their table, and they've got some sentence frames to help them out. Students are able to come up with these like longer, more complex answers based on evidence that they probably wouldn't have come up with if we were just given Newton's law and asked what it is. So showing that they really understand what the law is and how it applies to different situations and thinking critically about its relevance in life. So hope that was helpful.
The river is where boats can sail and people can travel or move throughout Egypt. It gives us soil to farm so farmers can work. Allows us to produce food and calendars and things to trade. The Nile, long, likely, and powerful. The Nile.
On your mark, get set, and go, 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 go. What we got? 7 seconds. Runners split between 2 spots. I guess we're doing it here. Yes? Time. Boards. Let's see them. Put them up, put them up. Okay, I've got environmental and econ. Environmental and econ. Let's check in. Explainers. Be ready? Navy. Environmental. Why?
Because it talks about resources and food.
Okay, it talks about the resources that it can offer. Anybody else vibing on environmental on that one? Okay, that's quite a few folks. Now, runners were technically supposed to split between these two, which I guess you did, right? So, economic I'm taking as my other final. Yellow, explainer.
I guess just like, I don't really know.
Did we have an economic one? Was that one of the answers?
Yeah.
Okay, read it. One of those lines. Listen in quick.
Allows us to produce food and calendars and things we can trade.
Okay, why would that be economic?
Because it's like talking about trading and like, that's economic.
Okay, trading resources. We vibing on that one. Pretty good. What are our 2 categories? Final answer?
Environmental and economic.
Snap it out, folks. That's number 10. Nice job. Nice job. All right, we got one more.
The sort of things that you get from the environment of the Nile.
Okay, who else is on track with environmental?
I agree.
Okay, good. That's a lot of us. Second explainer, turquoise. Why might we say economic? Help out our explainer here, folks, if you were whiteboard. Yep.
It gives us supplies so that we can trade or build and further. Transportation.
Oh, transportation resources. Let's confirm. We're going to say final answer, environmental, economic. Jared,
Well, like just the main
what were your 2 categories?
environmental and economic.
Nailed it. Nice job. Points. We got 10. Snap it out. Well done. Thank you, Jared. We have a round 2 poet coming back.
Well, and then how many units is it from the parking spot to the cart return? Jeff? 2. So what expression would help me determine the final distance I walk? L, thanks.
It's square root 50 plus 2 times 2.
Plus 2 all times 2. Or maybe some of you have a different expression. What do you have, Jack?
I have 2 times the square root of 50 plus 2 squared.
Plus 2 squared? Yeah, that's a great way of putting that too. Okay. I want you all, as we're going through these, to take the expression and type it in for each slide, even if you didn't have that slide. So on slide 9, go ahead and type in the square root of 50 plus 2 quantity times 2. Can I see what you got? Yes, that's correct for that first part. Okay. So we're doing from, you got the right spot. So just go ahead and find this distance from each side, right? And the best. Great. Now it's time for you to
Return of the parking spot.
Wait, what's the distance from here to here?
Beautiful. And we're doing that.
What's the distance from here to here? 6. Okay, so 6 and that's 2. Yep. So it's like the straight line there. So how could I write it? Should I do 2 times the square root of 50?
Yeah, for sure.
And then put a separate thing?
So you're doing 2 times the square root of 50 plus the distance from the parking spot to the car.
Okay, so just
Yep.
plus. All right.
Thanks for helping. I appreciate it. Yes. This is the point -5. Oop. Yeah, 3 right here. Yeah. Okay. Good job. And I'm going to just do count on each side here because everybody's got different parking spots.